What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today we are talking all things Jedi Survivor. I am super excited to be showing you all new gameplay footage from Jedi Survivor that is just being released today. I was super honored to be able to be out in California with the Game Changers to play test 3 hours worth of Jedi Survivor. It was a demo environment, however, it pretty much felt like the full game. Where we started was about an hour into the game, and then if you were able to play through the story long enough, it would reach a point where it just stopped you from playing any further, which was highly disappointing when I reached there. But in those 3 hours, I took a lot of notes. I've got 10 things I want to discuss with you today that I really liked about this game that have me really excited for the game's launch on the 28th. And you guys can rest assured, I'm not going to be discussing any story spoilers in this video today. We're just going to be discussing game mechanics and improvements that I've noticed from the game. This is partly because I don't want to spoil the story for all of you. I want you to be able to enjoy it. That said, they're also embargoing the story. They don't want us to talk about it at all, which is also good. So I'll share a couple things. I've actually got 2 approved lines I can give you that I'll talk about with the story later on in this video. All right, let's get into the list. First and foremost, the meditation zones are vastly improved in this game. If you'll remember, in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, you could go to the meditation zones, you could hit the rest button, enemies would respawn, you'd have your stim canisters refilled, health refilled, all that. You could also mess with your skill points. In the meditation zones this time, you have a lot more things that you can do, not the least of which being fast travel between meditation points, which is a huge upgrade. We already knew that was coming, but if you weren't aware of that, now you know. And then also, we have a whole training zone in the skill or in the meditation zones where you can go in to the dreamlike arena. You can have scout troopers there that just pile up, and you can test all sorts of different abilities and parries and there was a lot there. I actually wasn't able to get through all of the training that was there once I had finished the demo, and so I think that's a really nice way to help people get a little bit more prepared for a lot of the combat mechanics in this game. Which, speaking of, the second thing that I think is just really awesome about this game is the improved combat mechanics in general. Pretty much everything you can think of from Jedi Fallen Order that was great about the combat mechanics is in this game, and then some. They've got this cool little feature where you can press B if you fall down to quickly jump back up on your feet. You've got the ability to confuse enemies. You've got more force abilities, like, for example, you can levitate a bunch of enemies in the air at a certain point in the game. I actually wasn't able to do that in my playtest, but at the end of the playtest, they had one of the devs show off basically everything Cal can do in a test environment. And it was there was one point where all of us were basically just on our feet clapping when he uses a blaster, actually, which I think has been out in some of the existing footage for the game. But there was this one moment where he had probably 15 scout troopers levitating in the air. He was able to target all of them while they were frozen in the air and shoot all of them in basically one move and take them all out. It was pretty freaking badass, if I may say so myself. Lots of cool, exciting combat mechanics, and they've really built on, in this game, the difference between a single blade saber, a dual wield versus a double bladed saber. And they also have new force abilities you can do that are pretty cool. They have basically like an ultimate ability you can charge up. It's kind of like an ultimate ability where you have your ultra focus. There's another way, if you're dual wielding, if you press and hold Y, you will go into some sort of super focus mode where you dodge a lot easier and some things like that. And so I think all of you are going to be really excited with all of the improvements they've added to the combat mechanics. Third, I love the customization in this game. Look, customization isn't the end of the world to me. It's not like what I play a game for, but I do really like being able to change the look of my character when the capability is there. Jedi Fallen Order was a bit disappointing. I'm not going to lie. It was a little bit disappointing in a lot of ways with some of the customization there. They have blown it out of the water this time. You can change Cal's haircut. You can change his facial hair. There's a lot more clothing options, and within the clothing options, there is different color options. You can take the same shirt and I think there were maybe 8 different color shades you could do. for the shirts. And the same goes for the lightsabers. A lot more lightsaber customization and BD1 as well, which is just for those of you who are into that, I think you're going to really enjoy the improvements on customization in this game. I think it was a huge step up for customization. Number 4, I really like that there is more items to find around that can really bump your game up. And I don't want to talk too much about this. I'm not sure if I can talk too much about some of these elements. I didn't see it in the email, and so I'm just going to play it safe. But one thing I will say is it's possible to go out and you find these little blue crystal things, and you can find a full skill point. Just bam, one new additional skill point. I think that was pretty awesome as well. Number 5. There is some pretty awesome, satisfying improvements to the parkour of Cal. For example, you can run and jump onto the same wall, which is nice. I don't know about all of you, but there were several scenarios where I didn't have a wall to jump onto next, and so I just fell over. They also added a grapple, which can be used in specific scenes, specific moments of the game. You'll know when that is, and I thought that was pretty fun. And then even climbing above. They have, this really caught me off guard at one point, but they have the capability to climb on ceilings as well. And so pay attention. If you see something that looks like it's climbable on a ceiling, it probably is. Number 6. You can tame creatures and take them for rides. This is pretty cool. It's a force ability that makes sense for Cal, but he's able to, at certain points of the game, there's like this tauntaun-looking creature that I'll put on the screen right now as I'm talking, that is able to, you could use the force to tame him and jump on the creature, and you can actually use that creature in these moments to walk up slippery surfaces. So when you slide down, especially on Bogano, there was a lot of that, or not Bogano, Zepho in the first game. There were all those ice patches you would slide down. When you've got those in this game, if you have this creature, you can actually walk up those slide down areas, which is pretty nice as well. All right, number 7, and again, I'm not going to share a whole lot about this, but I will say that I really like the story. I'm not able to talk about it. I can't tell you what I like about it, but here are 2 lines from the email that I can say. I can mention that there's a planet called Talinor, which is an anomaly that might offer Cal and his friends something valuable. Take that for what it's worth, and pay attention to that when you get there. It's actually a pretty... I probably can't say anything else. And then also, I'm able to say that Cal is searching for parts to fix up the Mantis and makes unrelated dangerous discoveries on the way that impact his journey. And yeah, there are several things that I really want to talk about, and when we get the game here in a month, we'll talk all about it then. But I will say the story from what I got to play had me very intrigued, and when the playtest was over, probably the thing I was the most upset about is I don't get to find out what happens next in the story. I have to wait. It's like I got 1 episode of The Mandalorian before everyone, and now I have to wait until everyone else gets it, which is a very privileged thing to say, and I kind of, okay, I'm just going to talk about point number 8 now. Point number 8. BD1 can do a lot more in this game. I think that's a really fun. They've incorporated BD1 in satisfying ways. For example, BD1 can now be used as a set of binoculars to zoom ahead and see what's coming and set waypoints so that you can navigate as well. Which kind of goes hand in hand with, I don't have this point on my list right now, but I think the map has improved quite a lot in this game. It felt easier to follow and understand where I was meant to go. They even have a little gold line on the map that shows up to follow what they call the golden path, which is basically, if you want to get through the story as quickly as possible, follow that path. And it's a lot easier to figure out, I guess, the direction that you need to go if you want to play in a more linear way. But there's a lot to do also off that beaten path, of course. Number 9, there is more of an open world feel, at least on the planet that we played on. I really felt like there was a lot more open world feel to this. There were side quests, things like that you could do. I ended up not doing any of them because I just wanted to get as much story as I could. But when I was in the main town, especially where there's a cantina and all this stuff, it just felt to me more like a Star Wars open world game. Now, I'm not going to say this is not like an full open world game, but it had a little bit of that feel, which I found pretty exciting. I just really appreciate open world games. And then number 10, finally, overall, this is kind of a summary, but I just feel like this game feels like everything I loved about Jedi Fallen Order, but it improved on it. I thought Jedi Fallen Order was a fantastic game. I loved the game. I recently replayed it and had a blast playing through it. I just absolutely loved everything that they did with that game. There were some things that I felt like could be improved on, and a lot of them, in fact, most of them were probably improved on in Jedi Survivor, and then some. I think that they did exactly what I was hoping they would do. They gave us more story that's compelling. They built on the game mechanics. Basically, everything that I love about Jedi Fallen Order is here, and then they just built on all of that, which is what I love out of a game sequel for a game like this. And so, at the end of the day, really, really excited about this game. Let me know what all of you think about some of the test footage that you are seeing right now. As an FYI, none of this footage is me playing. They did not give us the capability to record our own gameplay footage, which was really disappointing. I think there were some reasons for that, but I really wish that I could have shown all of you everything I played. But I think part of that probably also is they wanted us to be able to play through things that they weren't quite ready to release out to the public story-wise. And so I think that's probably why they gave us this gameplay as well. And so really anxious to see what all of you think about what you are seeing. What are you the most excited about for Jedi Survivor? Let me know down in the comments. And as always, my brothers, don't forget, your boy Han shot first.